Hello, everyone, and welcome to the stream this afternoon. We have three sessions coming up. There are two startup showcases and a focus presentation, and they are all themed around, I think, a really interesting set of relationships around collaboration between human beings and machines in new ways, using AI not as a replacement, but as a way to design systems that are more amenable to human roles. So the first one of our presenters is a startup showcase. I'd like to introduce Raunaq Bose. He is the co-founder and the CTO of an exciting new company called Humanising Autonomy. Raunaq has a background in mechanical engineering and innovation design engineering from Imperial College London, which is what he brings to the Humanizing Autonomy startup. Previously worked as a mechanical engineer at LV and at Studio XO, and as the design engineer at Takram Design Engineering. He ultimately shifted his work from a number of innovative startups. He's going to focus his passion on creating what he calls a natural synergy between human beings and machines, which ensure that when we have fully functional autonomous systems, that they are designed around people and not the other way around, that we're not designing society around autonomous systems. So please welcome Raunaq.
Hi there, thanks for that, Andrew. I'm just going to share my slides and I'll go through what the company is all about and what we do. So hopefully you can see my screen. Is that right? Okay, so I'll get going. So we are Humanizing Autonomy, and what we do is we build predictive AI to enable better interaction or synergy between people and urban mobility systems. I'm the CTO and one of the co-founders of the company. And what we're really here to do as a company is we want to build a global standard that improves the way vehicles and systems interact with people in any environment. Right now, we're mostly focused in the urban mobility side of things. So that's looking at driver assistance systems, roadside infrastructure, and of course, autonomous vehicles to better understand how that synergy can happen. But really, we are providing a horizontal software solution that can capture this full range of behaviors into an intent prediction engine that works across different industries as well. With this, we're able to provide real-time behavior predictions, analytics from camera data. And by behavior, we mean things like, is someone about to cross the road? So I think I'll start by introducing the team first. So the company was founded by myself and two others, Maya and Leslie. But really, it's mostly about the wider team. We are a team of 30 people now, and we have lots of expertise, particularly around autonomous robotics, behavioral psychology, and path planning, as well as, of course, customer delivery and lots of experience in the semiconductor and mobility industries. What I'm personally extremely proud is that we have a team that's super diverse, with people coming from dozens of countries, and with a 50-50 gender split, which is important because it's across all teams, so including the engineering team. This is not just important because it looks good for a slide, but actually the problem that we're trying to solve is a big global problem. And really, we realized quite early on that we need to have a diverse team in order to catch all of the edge cases and things that we would be if people came from the same background. So what we're doing is we enable automation to be ubiquitous, but in a human-friendly way. So better interaction with people will unlock the real value of these automated technologies. And we are right now deployed within urban mobility systems. But as I mentioned before, we want to be able to then venture into other adjacent industries as well, such as logistics and distribution centers and so on. So what does that really mean? So what are the values that we give to our mobility customers? So one is safety, of course. So we provide better hazard perception with relation to vulnerable road users, which means pedestrians, cyclists, people on e-scooters, anyone who's not in a car, basically. And we can help have fewer accidents, which in addition to human loss, of course, there's also the kind of societal cost of the accidents that go on every day in our cities. With efficiency, we're able to improve the efficiency of automated vehicle systems driving through complex urban areas by 2 times by being able to make better decisions. We provide a smoother experience because we're able to anticipate hazards ahead of time and reduce hard braking events. And something that's also very important is that we're ethically compliant. So we meet GDPR and other data agreements to make sure that we aren't verging into territory which is to do with surveillance and so on. I'll talk a bit more about the way that we build our AI to be more ethical. So our unique approach is that we build these models through a combination of behavioral psychology and statistical AI, as well as cutting edge deep learning algorithms. And we are able to extract inferable behavior, such as, say, someone's distracted, by extracting observable parameters, such as is someone looking on their phone, is someone aware of the vehicle coming, and so on. So this is where the computer vision deep learning comes into play. We're fast and flexible in the sense that we can work on any hardware, so any type of camera data, as well as any type of chipset. And we have built an SDK that is ready to be deployed in multiple industries. So this is what I was talking about with the product itself. So it's a hardware agnostic product that is fit into devices such as dash cams and urban infrastructure devices, as well as integrated into vehicles such as driver assistance systems and autonomous vehicles. And I can give like a short demo of what this looks like in real time. So this is a street scene in Tokyo where there are lots of people. A person with a bicycle suddenly pops out. And what we're able to do is not only detect loads of people, but we're able to tell what is their perceived hazard. So we're able to very quickly tell which people are hazardous to the vehicle or not. And this might be an easy thing to do in a highway, but when you go into city centres, like in central London, say, or if you go to Shoreditch on a Friday night, which is like a nightlife area on Friday night, maybe not so much during the COVID time, but in general, it's a very unpredictable scenario. What this really means is that we're able to perceive hazards 2 seconds in advance, which reduces fatalities by 90% in road collisions. We reduce the number of false positives, which is really important, especially for automated driving, when autonomous vehicles in cities are seen to be very conservative and stop all the time, which is a not very useful manifestation of AVs. We provide a smoother experience, so the passenger experience and the driver experience is much better because we're able to anticipate hazards in advance, and we're ethically compliant and also safety compliant. So we are ready for compliance with ISO 26262 and other functional safety certification. So to do this, one very important factor is we have a really diverse data set of vulnerable road users. So right now, and it's still growing, we have 15 million vulnerable road users in our data set across 20 urban environments. So what this means is that if we get our stuff to work in London, it means we can also very quickly get our stuff to work in Tokyo. We don't need to retrain from scratch. I'll go into a bit more detail about that if we have time later. And we do this through our data partners, such as Transport for London and other transit authorities. So this is a quick summary of what makes our technology unique. One, as I've mentioned, is the combination of behavioral psychology, statistical AI, and novel deep learning algorithms. Two is the scalable integration. So we can work across any sort of hardware, and we have an SDK that can be used for tuning to new environments. It's functional, safety friendly, and I think this is very, very, very key, because a lot of people who are working in this space with deep learning have this black box end-to-end method, but we've gone well against that, because we think that it's important to have a modular system which is transparent and interpretable. And this is extremely important because these are not targeted ads. These are one-ton metal things going around the city. As I mentioned before, we have a proprietary data set, and we're able to work on low power. I think the things that I want to end on is that this human-machine interaction piece is there, and it's growing. And really what we're doing here as a company is building our own category of human-machine interaction. How can that be done in an industrial scale across different industries? This is our ecosystem that we are part of right now, and this is a very important thing for us. We need to create data partnerships, technology partnerships with chip makers and so on, deployment partnerships such as with transit authorities and so on, and of course the direct partnerships with OEMs or car makers and their tier one suppliers. I think what's really important to know is, as Andrew mentioned, we really want this to be a piece that allows technology to be built around people and not the other way around, but where people will be forced to deal with ill-designed technology. And like I said, we want to create this for all type of human-machine interaction. So we call ourselves Humanizing Autonomy, not humanizing cars, because really we see it as a much bigger industry. And right now, while our focus is on urban mobility, we are actively pursuing work in other industries such as manufacturing, construction, logistics, and so on. Thank you so much for listening to the talk. Sorry, I spoke so quickly and rushed through it all. But my contact details are here. I'm happy to have a chat with anyone else afterwards.
Thank you very much, Raunaq. Really great work that you're doing, and I think this question of how you design systems around people is, I think, really the leading edge of how a lot of this has to be approached. So it's really, really impressive.
Thank you.
So we're going to take a quick break here, and we will see everyone back shortly for the next session. You can find that in the Sessions tab in 10 minutes. And I think in the meantime, there is the ability to do one-to-one networking in the Networking tab, which you can see over on the side as well, and visit the cyberspace area. So we'll see you back here shortly. Thank you very much.
Thanks.